This weekend I had let's say a conversation with some people over social media regarding a video about a drone operator flying over a police station in the UK. Now, many people were thinking that this person was in the wrong, some people were thinking that this person was in the right. I gave my opinion on this just based on watching the video, and then I said that I would make a video about this video and I would do a little bit more investigation, and that's exactly what I'm doing now. So let's get into it. Hi everyone, Stephen from the FlyBy Guys. Now, this guy in the UK, he's a drone operator, and I actually have never seen his videos before. His channel is DJE Media. And this was a TikTok video, but he does have a YouTube channel as well. And I did go and check out, and I would say that the majority, if not all, of his videos are, let's say, pushing the authorities a little bit. Now, he's doing nothing wrong, okay? But the people who he has contact with regarding his flights know nothing about drones. And I can see that he's kind of antagonizing a little bit. But again, he's doing nothing wrong. He's just trying to make these videos and let's say raise awareness to the people. And of course, he gets the clicks and the likes and all the rest of it. But this video was going around X, and you know, I got into a conversation. So I'm going to make this video. So I'm going to show you a clip from the TikTok video. I will leave a link to the full video. It's 30 minutes long, it's quite long, but I'm going to give you a brief, and then I'm going to go into my analysis as to who's right and who's wrong here, because I have had some experience of the same kind, not as harsh as this, right enough. But so just to give you a bit of a background, he's flying over a police station, and then he gets confronted with some people from the police station. Now, there are 3 police officers. One of them is plainclothes. My issue here is that the plainclothes police officer does not identify himself immediately. So he really comes in and just starts shouting. But anyway, let's have a watch and see.
Mate, get the drone down now.
Sorry?
Get the drone down now.
Why?
Because you're flying over private property. This officer's going to take your details.
I was just having a look at your motor cars and stuff. That's all it was.
Yeah. But there's
People
private
interested.
cars there as well, so get the drone down now. He's going to take your details and run you through, all right? You can't be flying it over police property.
Yeah. Why?
Because it's private.
So you can't be flying over police property. Now, I actually went in to find the location of this police station, and I went into the UK drone application to find out if there was any no-fly zones there. There's not a no-fly zone. There is a yellow zone which says that there is a warning, which means that, you know, there is a ground risk, and you can see that here. I'll show you an image of that. But there is not a no-fly zone, okay? That's not the case. So he was within his right to fly there. If it was me, I would have went into the police station to say, I'm going to fly, just letting you know. And there's nothing you can do about it anyway, but I'm going to let you know that. But of course, he's within his right to just fly anyway. But let's continue.
Because it's private property.
I do it all the time, mate. It's fine.
No, it's not fine. He's going to get your details. Get the drone down now.
To be fair, I'd finished anyway. I'll take the drone down because I don't want to be keeping it in the air while I'm talking to you.
No, we'll get it down now.
It's fine over police property. It's fine.
No, it's not.
It is.
No, because there's private cars in there.
Yeah, not after
all right.
that.
There's private cars in there. Now, that's probably one of the worst excuses I've ever heard. You can hear in his voice, he really doesn't know what what he's talking about. And when you reach out and say something like this, private cars, yeah. Now, the drone operator done the right thing here, saying, I'm going to land the drone because I don't want to have the drone in the air while I'm talking to you. He done the exact right thing here because in actual fact, the police are actually making his flight more of a risk. Okay, they're making his flight more of a risk by actually taking his attention away from the drone. So he's doing the right thing here, but they probably don't even realise that. But yeah, I like what he's done here. I think that this police officer is making himself look really stupid, but let's continue.
All right.
Not interested. I'm interested in the vans.
I don't care what you're interested in.
Okay.
All right.
Well, I don't care what your concern is, mate, but I'm trying to allay your concern.
If you're concerned about me, and I don't care if you're recording, I'm Sergeant 4616 Roberts.
Thank you very much.
All right.
So he has now identified himself, and that's good. But this guy should have identified himself from the moment he started to talk with him. But he's done this, what I would say, if, it's now 50 seconds into the video here. That's way too long, because he is a plain clothes at the moment, or he could well be, let's say uniform, but he's not wearing it. But he should have identified himself. Let's continue.
Land the drone.
Land the drone.
And we'll talk.
They'll take
All right.
your details. All right.
Won't be taking no details, buddy.
Hey.
Won't be taking
They
no
will be
details.
taking your details, or they'll be taking the drone.
Really?
Yes. Really.
So they're only entitled to details if I've been suspected of committed an offence.
Which you have. We don't know who.
So, which you have, which again, he's completely clueless of the regulations here, because there has no offence being done here, and and you can hear it in his voice. You can hear it that he's not sure, just from the tone of his voice and how he's saying these words. He is very unsure. Now, you'll find out that in this video, when he starts to talk, that this is actually a counter-terrorism place. And so I think it probably should be a no-fly zone, but it's not. And he is well within his right to fly there. And in actual fact, if you look at the yellow, the yellow warning here, it's only over the building itself, not over the car park. So he's been saying that he's been flying and taking some images of the cars, which he is within his right to do. But he can fly over the building, and that is only marked as the building as the warning zone, let's just say. Let's continue.
I don't know who you are, okay?
That's not an offence, buddy.
This is a CT, it's a counter-terrorist site, all right?
Is it? I
Yes.
didn't know that.
Well, you do now.
I didn't know that.
All right?
So
that's because the security is
Yeah,
there,
yeah.
and all private cars and covert cars are parked out the back.
I don't like your approach,
Okay.
but I'll tell you what I'm doing. I'm doing a video on the police vehicles today.
Right.
Didn't know that was the type of site it is.
Okay, but we need to get your details.
But I
'cause
don't
we
give
don't
details.
know who you are.
I'm going to land that. I'll come over. All right.
Right. If we don't take your details, we're going to seize your drone. Simple as that.
And then I'll be civil claiming against you because
can
I have
civil
not.
claim all you like,
I have not
but you're
committed an
flying it
offence.
over police property.
That's not an offence, buddy.
Where there's covert.
Let me land it. We'll talk.
It's a CT site. Land the thing now.
So again, he's done the right thing. He's not done anything wrong, and threatening to take his drone is quite poor from their let's say perspective. Now, it's always very important that when you're talking with any authority is to be calm, and he is being calm. And let's face it, he's doing this to push the buttons, but he's doing it in such a way where he will make himself. Now, what I will say is, if you watch the rest of the video in the description below, there is another police officer who comes into the conversation. He's not there at the moment, but he comes in later on, and he is actually very well versed in the drone let's say regulations, and they both have a good conversation about the pluses and the minuses of flying in that area, which is really, really good, because he tends to, he brings everything down in a sense. But I just wanted to talk about this because I did promise to the guys when I was having this conversation online on X, and I'll leave my link to X if you want to follow me on X, that he was within his rights, and he is within his rights. If you're flying in a yellow zone, you're not allowed to. Now, here in Finland, where I'm based, you cannot fly over police stations. It's very clear that you cannot do that, and you shouldn't. In the UK, it's a bit different. Now, obviously, many of the police officers there are not well versed in it, and it's also sometimes the same here as well. Here where I am in Finland. In fact, actually, I had an incident last week where I was flying in Helsinki. And I was flying in a very strict no-fly zone where the president is actually based, and also the Prime Minister's office. And I got permission to fly there, and I went through the process in order to make sure that when I wanted to fly there at the specified time, that I could fly there. And one of the processes is that I also contact the police, which I did. But unfortunately, there was a shift change shortly before or shortly after I made that call to the police, and the shift manager didn't share the information that I was flying in that location. Now, when I was flying there, and you can see the location here, it's just in the no-fly zone and no more. I got approached by the police because there was a report of a drone in the area. Now, the way the police handled it was way more professional. Now, obviously, I'm in a very strict no-fly zone, high security, given what's happening in Europe right now, and obviously the war with Ukraine and Russia and whatnot. Now, the police actually approached me, and they were very nice, and they just asked what I was doing. And I explained to them the situation, and they asked me all sorts of details and stuff, and I gave that to them. And once they had that, and I also I actually brought down the drone, then they were happy, and then they walked away. And then afterwards, the police actually called me to apologise. that was so very, very civil in that sense as well. So if you have the information, and I think that this guy in this video, you know, he was handling it very well. He's doing these, you know, he's flying in these places on purpose to push the buttons of the police officers. And I'm sure at some point that the UK police will start to put no-fly zones over these areas, because, you know, if they are a risk for, let's say, counter-terrorism, as they have been talking about. So, what do you think? Have you had issues with the police? How has it been handled? Have they been good? Have they been, you know, have they not been good? Have you handled it well? Have you had your drone taken away from you? Leave your just leave your comments below, and like and subscribe to the channel, please. And we'll see you on the next video. Fly safe.